Hello and welcome back to part 3 of Billy Goat's unpacking of his loot from his trip down to Weymouth to see Martin at Peter Pig. So this is the Wars of the Roses episode, and these are mainly all character packs that Martin has produced over the last few months, so it's nearly all of them that they do. Actually, I'm just missing 5, I think. So they aren't particularly so some of them are clearly important characters within the Wars of the Roses and would lead armies like Richard III. Apologies for that. But others will just lead retinues and units. But here we go. Let's have a look what we've got. So here's the pack. This isn't a character pack. This is a pack of the Disorder figures. Now, Peter Pig are well known for releasing packs that contain figures like these, which are curiosities. Let's call them curiosities because the figures that nobody else, I think, produces, and they're so useful. So these do have an in-game function. You'll use these figures to mark when a unit is disordered, but also you can just add them to vignettes, you can add them to character stands or just normal bases actually and mix them in. But look at him, he is lovely. He's got the sort of studied armour, I forget what it's called now, brigandine, something like that, but he's taking his helmet off obviously to tell the men around him who he is and who he fights for. Please don't stab me. Another guy here, his arm up in the air, waving his sword around, saying rally, don't run away. And then another guy trying to restore some order to the ranks, got his sword above his head. He's no doubt going to bash somebody over the head with that if they don't do what they're told. He's also wearing, I think it's the brigandine, isn't it? So there's usually three sculpts in these packs that Peter Pig produce. 8 figures. And of course figures like this are absolutely eminently suitable for head swaps because you can get a very clean approach to both sides of the neck there. You could remove that and put a different hat on him and maybe bend his arm down slightly, make a little cut or something. To repose him slightly, and you've got a different figure. Same here, that arm could easily be cut and pointed downwards for a little conversion. You've got easy access to the neck, you could change the arm. These figures do convert very, very easily, and again, maybe, I do apologise, this new boom arm isn't really holding the camera quite as steady as I wanted, but it does have the advantage that from me forward there's no obstruction. So let's just do the other sort of curiosity pack, shall we? Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Now this is an absolutely wonderful one. I've written odds on it. I can't remember what the pack is actually called in the range, but it's pack number 29. So sorry for those who might like these things. That pack of Disorder figures is pack 17 from range 23. This is wonderful. This really is genius in 15mm. So these are 8 figures that just bring a little joy into your heart. So this guy is holding the severed head of an enemy. It's not a skull, but it's a severed head. And you can imagine him saying something along the lines of, alas, poor Richard, I knew you well. Beautiful. So there's, how many versions of him do we have? We have 2 versions of him. This is my favourite. It's one of the troopers from the back line, and he's carrying a pig under his arm. How appropriate from Peter Pig. This pig acquired me. That is a really poor impersonation of the line from the film Waterloo, where Wellington challenges one of his privates of the line who's got a wriggling piglet in his coat, and when challenged by Wellington, he comes up with some spurious excuse, and Wellington laughs, and I think he promotes him to corporal. So there's 3 of him. And then we've got Hopalong. This is a real veteran, probably been a veteran of the 100 Years' War or the Battle of Shrewsbury or something like that, but he's lost a leg. But he's still fighting on. It's only a flesh wound. There we go. But these really are truly wonderful little figures that, again, just add a little bit of character to your collection. You can mix them in with the units. You can have them as vignettes or whatever. Okay, let's see if we can do these in some sort of order. I think we start at pack 38. Okay, do these in some sort of order. So pack 37, range 23. And we have this guy. He's got a plume on his helmet. He's fully harnessed. He's got a livery coat on, a big chopper. He's got a couple of retainers with him, with big stabby swords, and he's got a flagman. And this is Edward IV, so King of England from, what was it, 1471 to 1483, I believe. I may be slightly wrong there. So he is Edward IV, so he would be a king leading the army. But certainly a couple of these other guys you could easily mix in with other units. But you'd want Edward IV's standard flowing from there. He'd be fighting on foot, as most of the generals didn't fight on horseback very often at all. Pack 38 is Buckingham. I can't tell you anything about Buckingham, I'm afraid. Somebody like John Watson from the Lance and Longbow Society, I'm sure, would be able to be better informed about who or what Buckingham was, but here he is. Holding his helmet aloft and shouting and saying, "It's me, Buckingham, don't kill me." He's got a livery coat on. Lovely. He's also got a couple of bodyguards to help him out. One with a really big axe or mace there, and a big sword. And again, a man to carry his standard. So lovely. These are authentically researched and sculpted from photographs from the period, I believe. Pack 39, we have Norfolk, the Duke of Norfolk. Perhaps should have done my research and been able to tell you a bit more about these, but type Duke of Norfolk, Wars of the Roses, and you'll find out who we're talking about. And here he is. Sword outstretched, saying, "That way. Don't go that way, go that way." Fully armoured. Pointing towards battle. And again, you can imagine these bodyguards or men-at-arms that are with him poking over the top of men in front of him to get to the enemy. I mean, goodness me, if you're in front of this guy pushing down with this sword towards you, imagine your life expectancy is very short. So I think there's 3 or 4 different sculpts for the standards and the bodyguard types that come with these character packs, but they're all very useful additions to the range. Pack 40, Somerset 1, so it's clearly the first Duke of Somerset, or the first Duke of Somerset for these wars. Here he is, doing a very good YMCA impression. Again, he's got a nice big chopper, and that face is a perfect likeness for the well-known photograph of Somerset. And then again, Looks like a fully harnessed standard bearer. The guy poking down with his sword and a big axe chopper. Of course, you can mix these in with the units and then use the bodyguard figures that you can get. This is the one you've all been waiting for. I don't need to look at the back of this figure, because this figure is a Richard III. What I like about this figure is, there he goes, he's got the crown atop his helm, he's got that kyphosis of the spine, so one shoulder lower than the other. That is most definitely the king under the car park on his way to Bosworth. And he even gets a posh horse as well, with the cloth on it. Whereas his retainer, standard bearer livery, banner bearer livery coated fellow, his poor horse rides naked, just the saddlecloth. But these are exceptional little sculpts that I cannot wait to get painted and onto the field of battle. Okay, Henry Beaufort, 3rd Duke of Somerset. I'm not sure what happened to the 2nd Duke of Somerset. I may have missed him. I wonder if the 1st Duke of Somerset was a Beaufort as well. It's a well-known name during the Wars of the Roses. So there he goes, advancing purposefully. Visor on his, is it a sallet? Up, so you can see where he's going. And to, sorry about that interruption. Richard Neville, Duke of Warwick, Kingmaker. Very interesting and influential character during the period. And there he is, advancing forward. Such beautiful castings these are. And again, just a slight rub on some sandpaper or something, and he's ready to go. He's got the same sort of figures with him. And then Sir William Hastings. Let's have a look at him. There's Sir William Hastings, this two-handed pole arm, nice livery coat, and again that face is very accurate to period photographs. Okay, so that's them. Just a couple of extras to show you. One is Wars of the Roses related, one is English Civil War related. So very sadly, 2 members of the congregation of Weymouth Leveller Wargamers have died in the last 18 months or so. The first of which is Rob Roriston of Dorset, Lord Rob Roriston. And Martin, in tribute, very kindly sculpted a figure of Rob advancing as the tall, lanky character he was, no doubt to his doom in the game, because he was the only person I've met whose dice rolling is worse than mine. Absolutely appalling dice throwing, but a real fun to play with and sit and chat with and converse with, and he's greatly and sorely missed by the community in the southwest. So that's a lovely tribute from Martin for that figure. That figure will lead one of my armies. And also sadly Paul Coker passed away, another stalwart of the southwest gaming community, but this is actually a rendition of Paul as an English Civil War officer. How nice is that? Obviously in his younger days, I would suggest. He's a good old age to Paul, in his 80s, and still gaming right up until the end. A lovely character figure there, and he will also take place, pride of place in my English Civil War armies. Okay, so that is the characters I have so far. I'm missing about 5 so far, but I'll pick those up in due course. But they're from range 23, Wars of the Roses. You can find them on the Peter Pig website. Go and check them out.